Galore a Harja, ta faru na fáilte roimh go léir higan caint seo, higan sesiún cainte seo, agus tá héan an seo in éanach watha, agus béimiid ag plé cursaí teangacha, agus teangachaí dúchais. This is all part of Seachtain na Gaeilge le energy, and we're in for an interesting exchange. We have a lot to learn from each other to help contextualize our discussion. I want to tell you of one aspect of our shared history and a special affinity that the people of Ireland have for over 170 years with Native Americans. So in 1847, when the Great Hunger on Gortamore was at its height, the people of the Choctaw Nation, some of them at least, gathered together and decided to make a contribution to help the people with their unbearable plight across the Atlantic in a small island that they probably knew little about, Ireland. And what is most significant about that act of humanity is that the Choctaw Nation themselves had been swept off their own native land to the then whereabouts of Oklahoma. And that had just happened 16 years before they made this very generous donation. That would be about $5,000 in today's money. But the people of Ireland have never forgotten that huge gesture at our greatest time of need. And we have many, many similarities in terms of land, in terms of colonization, dispossession, linguistically. And I suppose the reason why we're gathered here is that we have those similarities. And we have differences, but we have similarities with many of the native peoples of America and Canada. This is going to be a co-production with our sister centre in St. Paul, Minnesota. And with that, I'm going to hand over to the very capable Lily O'Donnell, who's in Winnipeg, who's going to be our moderator for this discussion. Lily.
So my name's Lily O'Donnell. I'm an Irish-American person living in Winnipeg, Manitoba right now. I grew up in between St. Paul, Minnesota and Dublin, Ireland. So I grew up kind of trying to stumble my way through Gaelic classes in school, really dreading it, to be quite blunt. And then so I didn't pick up that much. All I really know is how to say, can I go to the bathroom? Because you had to know that to go to the bathroom. So Cadagum, Gulti, on Letras. That's my Gaelic really for you. Yeah, so somehow by some weird luck of chance, I ended up going to the University of Winnipeg from St. Paul. When I got to the University of Winnipeg, I started taking all these really amazing Indigenous studies courses and really having so much of my life feel expanded and so much of my understanding of who I am and who my ancestral connections are be so enriched and deepened by learning about how my professors and my students looked at their connection to their ancestors. And I felt like I was really growing, and that connection between the spiritual and the political was finally coming together within myself. And I guess like through my own expansion, this conversation was even able to happen through me learning about Ojibwe history, Anishinaabe history, Canadian history. I would always kind of say my 2 cents about what I knew about my Irish culture and my Irish background. And I'm feeling very happy. And I think that a sign of a good life is the people you have in it. And I think I'm living a very, very good life, that I have connections to such intelligent, passionate folks. So thank you for letting me be part of this discussion. And I'm kind of just going to go into a circle of what I see. And please explain who you are, where you come from, and where you live. So Jerry, I'm going to start with you.
My name is Bonjour. Mako Guma, the Goni, Makona Tute, Ojibwe Nishnabe, now. Sakatong Donji, Chicken Ma Bejan, Nongo, Chicago Anishna, Ojibwe Wim, Irish Moon, Begin the chicken. They get you there now, Patrick O'Donnell. She go dancing Lily. She go me way teach wasa gum king, yeah. Raymond. I introduced myself. My Ojibwe name is Bear Chief. I'm Bear Clan. I'm an Ojibwe speaking human being, and I'm from where the river widens. And I said miigwech for Patrick and his daughter Lily for actually making this possible for the invitation. And to Raymond, Agam Kinga, yeah, all the ways across the big water. So it's I think it's a special time. We're talking about, we're going to be talking about language revitalization, language survival. So I'm happy to be here because I think it's quite important.
Patrick, do you want to go next?
It's Misha Padraig O'Donnell, it's Misha Stiora Hor Idakis, Don Onid Cultural in St. Paul, Minnesota. Hello, everybody. I am Patrick O'Donnell. I'm a Director of Education with the Celtic Junction Arts Centre. We are delighted always to be the sister centre with Enoch Bachta in Armagh. I'm delighted to be part of this panel. I grew up in Dublin, so the Irish word Dublin, the place name, translates from the Irish Dublin, meaning black pool. And we live now in Minnesota, which is a Dakota Sioux name, meaning cloudy water. So I moved from the black pool, Dublin, to the land of the cloudy water in Minnesota. And in that same sense of the memory of the spiritual and political being held in the landscape and in the place names, I welcome you to today's panel, moderated by my daughter, Lily.
Thanks. Meghan, do you want to go next?
Buju, Migaze, Tibike, Gizizikwe, and Dishnakas, Mikanak, Indodem, Erikstell, and Duji. My name is the Eagle Moon Woman, and I'm from Turtle Clan. I grew up in Erikstell. Today I'm in Winnipeg. I'm Métis Anishinaabe, as well as Swedish and Scottish on my dad's side and Polish on my mom's side. I really appreciate being here.
Thank you, Meghan. Darren, you want to go next?
Sure. Bonjour, ni doe magani dok. Songi gabo we makwan ndebo. Megazine do them say again tunji makwana kwi mele shnabe o jibwe ndao. Ni mama onji we te say again Beverly Christianish nakazo. Ni mama onigi guk onji wak say again Viola Shago George Christianish nakazo wat. Inawa and Baba Ban onji we te kish winning Reginald Blackbird kish nakazo. Ni Baba Omamayan onji titipi ni zibing Shago ni Baba Obabayan. Onji kishiko winning Harry Shago Albert Blackbird is Nakazawat. Gichi Minwe Damo Oma Ayayan Nongum. So I just to translate a little bit of that long introduction that I just gave of myself. I am known as the bear that stands strong, and I'm from the Eagle Clan, and I'm originally from Saging. I also said who my parents are. Traditionally, we're supposed to give that little gift of a little bit of genealogy so that you know who my people are. I'm from Saging, so was her parents, Viola and George, and I also talked about my deceased dad, who was from Isikuning, and his parents. His mom is from Rolling River, and his dad is from the same community as him. And it's kind of like a little bit of a protocol that we do and sort of ground and position ourselves. And so I also said that I'm very happy to be here today because of the topic that we're going to be discussing, language revitalization. So I want to say congrats to all of you for inviting me to speak today.
Next we'll go to you, Raymond.
Gurakiad Maigat, Lily, Tamahian and Sonagajo of a Kainch live on Shaw and you, O Ardwaha, Togu a Grishvik Linen me in Ardwaha Has. I learned the Irish language as a second language And I spend a lot of time in the Gaeltacht, where the Irish language is the home language. That's what we call Tuber na Gaeilge, the well of pure Irish. And it's great to be on a panel and to have the native tongues of our various lands being placed centre stage, even though we're also going to use English as well. So, Gurachéad Maigah.